So most people don't really know how we got started. They might see your wonderful face on Futurebound in the ads, or, see our website and all of that, and thinking that we're just mortgage brokers kind of deal. But we're actually more than that. And the way we got started is actually based in our relationship. Isn't it?
It's very romantic.
It's a romantic story.
Futurebound is a love story, really.
It actually is.
Yeah.
I think it's a love story, not just like our love, but the passion and the love that we have for what we do is also a love story. So I actually was gonna say that, but then I thought it was too corny.
I'll say it.
Aw, you're usually not the corny one. But no, because before the whole idea of Futurebound even came to fruition, you were a mortgage advisor when we met, right?
I'd been a mortgage advisor at that stage for probably about 3 or 4 years. So not a lifetime, but quite a long time. And at that stage, I guess I would call myself, similar to a lot of mortgage advisors. It was a little bit more transactional. You want to buy a house, great, here's your mortgage, and off you go. And but we always did do, I always did do mortgage debt reduction advice, which has always been like a real foundational part of the advice that we give. But the scope of what our company was about at that time was a lot more narrow than what it has evolved into now.
Pretty much the same as other advisors, with that, except for that little piece there. But like when we met, I won't go into how we met. We did meet online. I was living in Auckland, and we met, and eventually, actually real quickly, after about 6 months, I moved to Wellington, and a little bit later we got married. But in that time, we talked a lot about, because we really felt that there was a lot of purpose for us coming together, right? Like, so we talked a lot about, like, what is this purpose? What is this that's greater than the both of us and greater than our love and attraction, which of course is there. But like, what else do we do with our lives? Why are you snickering? He's like getting embarrassed. Oh, I don't want no one to love. No, I love my wife. But you're so cute.
That's a secret.
So cute. But yeah, so it was like, what is that? And I started noticing, I did another video about the phone call where, there was this guy, he was on a call, and, just answering a call for work. And this guy was like, how much is the bank going to give me for my deposit? And I was just like, really? He just had no clue, right? Like just none. And it was, this guy may never get a house because of just how far, out of touch he was and understanding what he needed to do. And you did provide some guidance and explain to him, this is what you need to do. But it was just that realizing, after listening to that call, I realized we actually are in a place where we are able to help, because I was helping out with the business at that point. I had moved down, I was helping out with the business, just kind of doing admin, paperwork stuff, answering calls sometimes. And I just realized that we had an opportunity where people who wanted to buy a house but had no clue about money would be calling, right? And so we had an opportunity to help these people. And so we discussed that. So you had the idea about the financial mom and dad, right?
Yeah, so the idea of financial mum and dad came out of talking to lots of clients and just seeing such a huge disparity between how some people just sort of seem to instinctively know how to handle their money, and some people have got absolutely no idea. And it's not a reflection. It's not a reflection on the people, or bad reflection on the people that had no idea how to handle their money.
It's not intelligence.
No, it's not. No, it's not at all. Because often. They're very high earners and in great jobs, and and they've got they're successful in every other way of life. But when it came to handle their money, often they would be atrocious with it, and it was just so detrimental to them and so detrimental to their family that it was kind of like, this is ridiculous. and it's really just, and I think it really just comes down to your background and your family and your parents. And some of us came from families that or had parents that taught us a lot about how to handle money, and most of us, myself included, didn't come from that, and we sort of had to work it out along the way. And you work it out by making mistakes and taking some advice along the way, and eventually maybe you get there, but a lot of people don't. And so that sort of became, I guess, the beginning of us changing what Futurebound was about, or making some adjustments so that we could be more than just be transactional mortgage brokers and help people on a more healthy financial journey. And that's where the idea of generational change through financial advice came about from.
Yeah, so we had lots of discussions about that before we even got to this whole generational change through financial advice. We were kind of had an idea that we wanted to use the business, but we didn't know exactly how. So on our honeymoon, right? That's a honeymoon story. I actually brought pens, papers, and we created this out of our conversation. Right now it's kind of a hot mess because it's been sitting around for some years. It's actually been on our wall because it's like our vision board of what we wanted in our family, because obviously it was like a blended family. So what did we want that to look like? Well, I don't know if it's obvious, but Jeff has 4 children from a previous marriage.
And they don't look like Jacque.
And they don't look like me. Yeah. Our daughter now, from the both of us, she don't look like me either. She looks like her dad. But so it was a blended family, and so we wanted to be intentional about that, because obviously, we have these 4 little precious kids. They weren't not so little, but that we needed to make sure we did right by him and provided a loving environment. And then also we wanted to make sure that our lives were intentional with the business and what we wanted to do. And so on here, it says restoring and strengthening families was kind of the theme of what we thought that our lives was really about and what we wanted to do. And from that, it started to evolve into generational change. I mean, obviously I'm a Black American, and that whole idea of financial passing down of the knowledge and even opportunities was a major thing within my life. And so being able to provide that pathway for people to say, look, the life that I may have grown up in or lived doesn't have to necessarily be the life that my children or my grandchildren have to live, right? So that's just kind of on a general level. And so since we had a financial services business, it's like, hey, let's provide those financial pathways for people to change their generation. So I'm totally about it. And it excites me to be able to help people free up not just their money, but their opportunities in life and have more choices, and to be able to not just be in survival mode or be like one paycheck away, from or losing one job puts them in so behind and having to use debt and that horrible debt cycle and all of that. It's just it's I know I'm an American talking about freedom. I probably shouldn't since we're the only ones who know about freedom. That's a joke, people. I don't really think that. I think that to me it's an honor to be able to help people do that with their lives. So what's the best way for people to, if they're feeling like, hey, that's exactly what I feel like I want to do right by my money, but I don't really know how, or what do I do? Like, what do you think the best way for people to do that?
In the very, very first lockdown in 2020 is when we started creating the Futurebound online course. And we've actually, I think the current version of the course is about the 3rd version of it, and we're in the process of creating the 4th version of it. But the 3rd version of the online course is there in a Futurebound portal. It's there to be used by anyone that wants to use it, and there's 6 modules in
clients.
it. Yeah, there's 6 modules in it. They're about an hour long each. And the Futurebound online course is about financial principles to live your life by, and also paying your mortgage off faster. So so this is an open invitation. Like, if you feel like you've got some gaps in your financial knowledge, if you feel like maybe your family or your parents didn't give you the knowledge that you feel that you need to thrive in your financial life, then our online course is probably a good place for you to start. And I can say that now after delivering this course multiple times live, and as well as just people watching it through the portal, that the clients that I've worked with that have actually done the course and taken it seriously and put the principles into action, these are our most successful clients. All right, these are the people that really they go forward faster than others. Like, they've taken this stuff on. I can see the difference happening in their financial lives, and for the people that implement, like, they are the people that are winning. And so if you feel like that might be something that you're missing, then please book a chat with me. We'll spend 15 minutes just talking about your situation and talking about whether the online course is appropriate for your stage. And if it is, we'll look to get you on that as soon as possible, and then you can. I'm no longer doing it live, but you can watch the recorded sessions in your own time and do the homework associated. And I think that you would benefit immensely.
Yeah. So definitely book that 15-minute call, and hopefully we can help you change your financial generations in your family. Until next time, bye guys. Bye.
For more financial tips, advice, and education, subscribe to us on YouTube, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.